Begin with a new project and use the metallic roughness template. Give your graph a name and set your texture size. Use the spacebar to add a base material node. Under the instance parameters, change the material preset to dielectric, which essentially means non-metal. Under the user-defined map section, activate normal, AO, and height maps. Add a normal map node and plug it into the normal input of the base material. Under the specific parameters, you can use either OpenGL or DirectX for the normal format. I use OpenGL because it's compatible across more platforms, both operating systems and game engines. Add a histogram range node and connect it to the height input of the base material. Since the ambient occlusion is determined by the height map, plug the histogram range node into the AO input of the base material. Select this new connection and add an ambient occlusion HBAO node. You can delete the nodes connected to the output nodes. Right-click on the base material and choose View in 3D View. For the base concrete, add a fractal sum base and connect it to the normal and histogram range nodes. Under the instance parameters, make changes to the roughness and global opacity. You can also change the min level and max level. Add a warp node and connect the fractal sum base to the input. Under the specific parameters, you can change the intensity. Add a Clouds 3 node and connect it to the gradient input. Under the instance parameters, change the scale and disorder. Select these 3 nodes, right-click and add a frame, naming it appropriately. For the second layer, add a grunge texture. Under the instance parameters, change the balance and contrast. Add a warp node and connect the grunge map to the input. Under the specific parameters, increase the intensity. Add a Perlin noise and connect it to the gradient input. Under the instance parameters, decrease the scale. Adjust the intensity of the warp. Add a blend node and connect the warp node to the foreground. Connect the warp node from the base concrete to the background. Under the specific parameters, change the blending mode to soft light and lower the opacity. Connect the blend to the normal and histogram range nodes. Select these 3 nodes, right-click and add a frame, naming it appropriately. For the third layer, add a purlin noise and decrease the scale. Add a levels node to the purlin noise. Under the specific parameters, move the black color stop to darken the purlin noise. Add a sharpen node to the levels. Add a blend node and connect the sharpen node to the foreground. Connect the first blend node to the background. Under the specific parameters, change the blending mode to linear dodge. Connect the blend to the normal and histogram range nodes. Select these three nodes, right-click and add a frame, naming it appropriately. Add a grunge map to start the fourth layer. Since this should be a lighter color, under the instance parameters, increase the balance. Add a transformation 2D node to the grunge map. Under the specific parameters, multiply the grunge map by 2. This will increase the scale of the grunge map. Add a sharpen node, and under the specific parameters, increase the intensity. Add a blend node and connect the sharpen node to the foreground. Connect the second blend node to the background. Under the specific parameters, change the blending mode to subtract. Connect the blend to the normal and histogram range nodes. Select these three nodes, right-click and add a frame, naming it appropriately. For the cracks, add a cells 2 node and under the instance parameters, decrease the scale. Also decrease the edge width to a very low number. Add a directional warp node and connect the cells 2 node. Add a clouds 1 node and connect it to the intensity of the directional warp. Under the specific parameters of the directional warp, you can change the intensity and warp angle. To add some more interest to the cells, add a warp node and connect the directional warp node. Add a Gaussian noise and connect it to the gradient input of the warp node. Double-click the warp node and single-click the Gaussian noise. Under the instance parameters, decrease the scale of the Gaussian noise. To add some smaller details, add a transformation 2D node. Connect the cells 2 node to the transformation 2D node. Select the transformation 2D node and under the specific parameters, under the stretch option, divide by 2. This will shrink the texture. Duplicate the directional warp and connect the transformation 2D node to the input. Add a blend node and connect the duplicated directional warp to the foreground and the warp node to the background. With the blend node selected, under the specific parameters, change the blending mode to multiply. To better blend the small details, decrease the opacity of the blend. Add a levels node to the blend node. Under the specific parameters, change the black output to fade the black and white of the details. Add a blend node and connect the levels node to the foreground. Connect the third blend node to the background. Under the specific parameters, change the blending mode to multiply. Select these nodes, right-click and add a frame, naming it appropriately. Now that you have the basic geometry set, you can start using the texture outputs. Delete the base material node. Connect the normal node to the normal output. Connect the histogram range to the height output. Connect the ambient occlusion node to the AO output. With the ambient occlusion node selected, under the instance parameters, change the GPU optimization to true. Add a uniform color node to the base color output. Under the specific parameters, you can change the output color. To change the roughness map, add a curvature smooth node and connect the normal node to it. Connect the curvature smooth node to the roughness output. Under the instance parameters, if you're using OpenGL, you'll need to change the normal format. We will not be using the metallic map, so you can just delete it. In order to export this material, select the output nodes. Under the Tools menu, select Export Outputs. This will make the material available for use in external programs. If you want to use this material in Substance Painter, select the package and click on the Publish button. From here, you have the option to publish the file. This will give you a prompt to save the file. You can then drag the file into your shelf in Substance Painter. You also have the option to send the material directly to Substance Painter. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video about making a concrete material in Substance Designer, you may enjoy this video. Have a good day.